Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Grizzly Bear Sim's YouTube channel, and welcome back to Elm Creek Farm. This is episode number 23, and over in the distance, we've got Bo working the tractor. Um, Jack and I have been, or I'm sorry, George and I don't know where I got Jack from. George and I have been helping him and kind of teaching him some of the basics of tractor work and such because we're going to need him to help us with the harvesting as we get further along into the fall season. Now, we are in the same game day that we were in the previous episode, and I am just going to just do a little bit of plowing here. We're opening up this field. This was our canola field, making this field just a little bit bigger based on the field area that we own. We purchased this area when we purchased the mill, and got this as a bonus. And kind of initially, I had thought that we would grow crops for the mill here on this field number 11, but it really wasn't large enough to, at least it wasn't large enough to grow fields solely for that purpose. In other words, being the only field that we might grow for mill work for our bread operations. And so we decided to put canola down here, and then we put our greenhouse over there to help to maximize the yield of the canola, and I think that's worked out. I think that's worked out okay. We will certainly we'll certainly see how that works out in years to come. Hope everyone is having a wonderful day. For me, in the real world, this is the first recording day, first gaming day that I've spent down in my man cave in my basement here in the studios of Grizzly Bear Sims, and playing the game. It is Monday. It is the day Monday after the Christmas weekend, and had just a wonderful Christmas break with my wife, and just so much to be thankful for. And we just really enjoy everything that got some great gifts that we gave each other, and I'm drinking some coffee this morning that my wife gave me. I'm not really a coffee snob per se. I will drink just about any kind of coffee that is available, and testament to that is obviously working in the corporate office environment for so many years. That has got to be the absolute worst coffee. I think I've had better coffee, like um, in mechanic shops, garages, and stuff like that, having the oil changed or something, um, than I've had in the corporate office environment. But it is what it is. But anyway, she got me some really nice coffee, some really dark French and Italian roast, kind of a sampler of each, and just really enjoying that this morning. And as I said, we have Bo mulching this field here. Hopefully, he and I are not going to get in each other's way. Um, what the kind of the goal for this expansion area here, at least for now, the reason why we're doing it today versus kind of waiting is because we're going to need to de-rock this, and we can worry about de-rocking it in the coming days, months, whatever. Obviously, we need to get it done, and we would like to get a crop of oilseed radish growing on this entire field before springtime. Certainly before we plant anything in this, just to take advantage of that fertilizer state. But I wanted to go ahead and get this expansion done because we're going to do some other field expand, or we're going to combine some other fields as well. Some of the fields that we combined last year, after that first initial harvest, we're going to make those. We're going to combine those into a bigger group of fields, is what I'm trying to say, very poorly. And of course, we're going to have some rock work that we're going to need to do as a result of all of this kind of tearing and ripping up of the soil. And it was kind of my goal, and we'll kind of see if it's even going to be possible with how the game allows us play and function around rocks. But my goal is to only have to pick rocks when we have to plow, because we're trying to, after harvest state, we're mulching, we're coming in, we're planting oilseed radish on top of that. We're going to very light disc the oilseed radish in, and then we're planning on seeding directly on top of that. And so we shouldn't need to de-rock the fields until they come time to plow them again. And depending on whether we're still playing this map at that particular point in time, is really yet to be determined, just how long that I will consider to play this map. It really depends on what else comes along out there and is available for us to play and enjoy. Um, Speaking of, in the previous episode, I had mentioned that Courseplay was out. It came out on, I believe it came out on Christmas Eve. I think is the date. We had a whole bunch of Christmas Eve, Christmas Day mod releases that came available. And as a matter of fact, I posted. Of course, we had our wonderful mod author creator Rubber Burner um, released um, his horse pack on Christmas Day through simplysafemods.com, and I told you all about that. I believe in the previous episode, or one of the previous episodes, I knew that was coming and went ahead and put that information into the episode itself. But if you have not downloaded that, please consider doing that. It was very successful. First 24, 36 hours of download. There's been over 1,000 folks have downloaded that particular mod, and it was brought forward from FarmSim 17 and into 22 by Rubber Burner, and he did an awesome job with that. But also we had Courseplay that came out, and Courseplay is running and it's working. It's working as well as can be expected. This is very early days. There have been many updates though since the first initial release. I think that the current, as of Monday morning, the 27th of December, I think is what the date is. We are up to version 7.0.0.7, so version 7 for FarmSim 22. And there have been, like I said, updates almost every single day for this, and I'm sure that will continue to be the case. And it is limited in functionality and what it can do, and they've changed a whole lot of things about it. You no longer have the little menu that pops up on your screen, sort of the way that it has been for FarmSim 15, 17, and 19. So it's kind of integrated into the controls of FarmSim 22. And as I said, for the most part, what we have and how it's working quite well, doing things like the mulching over on the field just next to us. Let me get a drink of coffee just a second. Oh, that is good. Anyway, there were a couple of maps that came available on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. There was the large, giant 16-time X North Dakota map, and I took a look at it, loaded it up. Oops, come on, wrong gear. Loaded it up and took a look at it, and it is huge. I mean, it is just entirely too huge, probably for me to consider playing. I do love to go big or go home type equipment, and I'm not saying that I'm not going to play that map. However, there are some challenges with that North Dakota map as it currently stands, and he's released at least one update. I believe the modder lives in South America. He's released one update for it, and I believe he has a New Year's Eve, New Year's Day planned update for it. I don't know if it will require a new game save, but some of the challenges with the map itself are sort of enough to keep me away from it right now. There were several errors that popped up in the map when I loaded it. And as I said, there were some challenges, some issues. There was a giant crater, a giant hole near one of the fields, and I believe he's fixed that. But for me to consider playing a map that big, even if I, did it just for personal game save, off camera type stuff, or even if I were to do a series with it, I'm going to need Courseplay working um, in more capacity than what it presently is capable of doing, just simply because you're not going to be able to do that, the harvesting and stuff, or even the planting, or anything kind of by yourself as we would do on a map, say this size. So that is kind of it is, in some ways, it's somewhat disheartening, because I know a lot of people love playing those kind of maps, but a lot of people also love seeing new maps come into the system and them not being so huge, 16 times map. But anyway, we will just see how that progresses. The other map was based in North Carolina, and from what I can gather, and again, I downloaded it, took a look at it. From what I can gather from that particular map is it's real heavy on horses, and I can kind of understand North Carolina. Obviously, they raise a lot of horses in that area, and the kind of the starting fields, and of course we can start anywhere on the map that we want to start, but the starting fields are kind of right up against the edge of the map, and I'm just not a fan of that. I understand that map developers, creators, want to put as much content into the the size map template that they have to work with, and I appreciate that. Um, but putting things, I would rather have had a bit of a smaller playable area than have fields directly up against, and I mean literally up against the map edge, the map border. You could be harvesting or plowing along and literally looking down at a sheer drop, and you wouldn't want to fall off the world there. Um, so we'll just see. It's also missing sell points for various crop types and such as that, and so we'll just give that one a miss for a little while. And then of course Stevie, wonderful Stevie, has been releasing mods since almost day one, various equipment mods and stuff like that. And so Stevie has released his way of reimagining a map for Elm Creek here, and he has released that. That's available on his Facebook page. But of all the and like I said, there were a ton of new mods released on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. I posted a link. There was a gentleman that is a member of the Simply Safe Discord server, as well as quite a few other Discord servers that I belong to, like Frontier Design and the Farm Sim Guy, etc. And he created a list of all of these Christmas Eve, Christmas Day releases, and I posted a link to that on the Simply Safe Mods Discord server. So if you want to kind of see everything that you have available to you, everything that you have at your fingertips for all of these new mods that have come out for 22, and there's been a lot of equipment mods. There was some cultivators, a whole bunch of stuff. Again, tractors, I think, as well, that was released. Go and check out that link and check out that document, and that'll get you squared away. All right, so we will. Oh, and by the way, just before I kind of get back into updating you on roleplay, what we're doing here on the map and everything, there have been several updates to the drive control, um, or auto drive. I'm sorry, auto drive mod. And I've been trying to keep up with those, and I've got it. I think it's version 2, so the second update is available for auto drive. And I've been watching some videos, and I've been setting up some auto drive courses just to kind of help me on the farm and hopefully be able to, role play getting George or Bo sort of helping with harvesting, and probably will have them available to help us harvest through auto drive when we tackle that wheat field, which we will most likely do in the very next episode. We should advance into the second stage of August and be able to get that wheat field harvested and get that into the silo. All right, so as I said before, opening these fields up is going to produce rocks, and we will have to obviously deal with those. This will kind of be some off camera when I'm not doing anything, or maybe when we're doing something else on the map. I will have a hired worker down here just collecting rocks and getting them off of this field, and then we will take a look at what we need to do next steps as far as getting this field ready to uh, to uh, to sow with oilseed radish. And I suppose I could have purchased this other additional piece of land. It was about 100,000, I believe. But we are going to do we are going to purchase some additional fields, but I have decided that we're going to do those over by the greenhouses. Now, those fields are expensive, and I don't know how many of those we're going to be able to purchase this year or early next year. Obviously, it doesn't do us any good to purchase them if we can't immediately put a crop on them, plant a crop on them, or purchase them when they have a crop already planted that we could harvest. Um, but we'll just have to kind of have to wait and see what we can do and when we can do that, and we'll make those purchases and everything. Get that going. All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I am going to head back to the main farm, and we're going to leave Bo working tirelessly down on field 11 as he is mulching that in. Our oilseed radish is growing fine there in field number 9, I believe that is. And of course, we've got sunflowers, and we've got corn, and then we have soybean, and also our wheat to harvest. And we'll be harvesting wheat next episode. And of course, we've got grapes that we need to harvest at some point. They're not quite ready yet, but I've been keeping an eye on them, and everything is looking really good with them. Nice and juicy. Still a bit sour, but they're still green, so that will obviously change. And then we've got the rest of that field where the grapes and greenhouses and everything are. We've got soybeans down there, so we will be moving the equipment down whenever we harvest, or after we harvest soybeans here on this farm. Then we will move our let's see, let me limit this to fields, because if you don't do that and you lower it, it's going to mess things up. And push this back a little ways here. And that is going to just about get us ready for winter once we get everything harvested. And that's obviously will be our second year of harvesting. This is kind of we started obviously in August, so we've been playing on this map for one season calendar year, and been having quite a good time. It's a fun map. I know that just to say this, and I'll close things out. I know that some folks just don't like Giants base game maps, and I was one of those individuals. Especially, and as I have told this story before, I got my exposure to Farm Sim with 15, and of course I played the heck out of Westbridge Hills, and I loved it because I didn't know anything different. I didn't know about mod maps. I didn't know about mod equipment. And as I began to explore modded maps, then obviously I became somewhat bored with default base game maps, and I could not wait until the first mod map came out, and made mistakes because I would jump to the very first one that came out and start playing it, and then realize that there's all these bugs, growing pains, everything with these things. Because initially in the first opening stages after a new game, these maps aren't tested well enough, and I guess the modders are in a hurry to get them out, and so you have those challenges to deal with. And so, but with Farm Sim 22, I've really got to say that Elm Creek is the absolute best base game map that Giants has ever created. And I know I'm excited for the first really really nice, awesome, fully functional mod map to come out. I will be moving to that. Would love to see something that's not quite as big as a 16x map that's based on the US Midwest somewhere, where I can bring in some heavy go big, go home style equipment. I'm also looking forward to a nice British style map, and we'll be enjoying those, and we'll most likely bring that content to the channel as well. But for now, this map is scratching the itch that I have and enjoying Farm Sim 22, and go away, bird. Enjoying Farm Sim 22 and enjoying putting content on the channel for you all to watch and enjoy yourselves. And the weed is ready to go. So we will do that in the next game day. We will have everyone helping us out here getting this done. And until then, I will just say thank you so much for watching my videos. Thank you for being loyal subscribers. If you are watching and you have not clicked the subscribe button, please do so. That helps me out quite a bit. Again, thank you for watching. Come back again for the next episode, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.